Welcome to Wisdom of the Elders with the Awakening Airwaves podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about transitions. I am Ia F. Malayo, and my co-pilot here is Ia Ife Taya White. Welcome, my sister.
Welcome, my sister. Yeah, beautiful to be with you again.
Yes, and we're at this wonderful time of
Eh,
transition as we go to close out this last month of the year 2025 and on the verge of coming into the winter solstice. So it's an exciting, opportune time for us all.
Yes, it's a
So, what are
beautiful
some of the
time.
things that you do at this time of year and in other transition periods, Ia?
Well, for me, particularly this time of year, as opposed to the transition from winter to spring, because it feels different to me, and I honor those transitions differently. So, for me, this time of the year in support of the changes um, that we're responding to as we move from 2025 to 2026 and a new set of vibrations and energies. I I love to bring my energy in. I love to spend more time in solitude, in meditation, being with nature, all of the things that writing more and reflecting in my and
Yes.
listening at for what should I do next? How should I prepare myself? And so a lot of listening, which does require me to bring my focus and energy in more during this season, even though, as we know, it's a busy time of year, you
Yes.
know.
It is a
So,
busy time.
yes. So in the self-care part of this, busyness and in knowing um, that we want to align ourselves with the natural order of life and the universe, then the natural order of life in the universe right now is asking for everything to go to sleep, to
Yes.
be quiet, to rest more. And then, we have to balance that out um with the engagement that is so also expected of often during this time of year with other people.
Yes, indeed. I love that. It reminds me of growing up and people. I remember in my family and most families back in the days when I was growing up, that with each season, there was a time for cleansing,
Mm,
and so
yeah.
I remember we had
Yes.
every room in the house got a thorough clean.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah, and so you change the curtains and the bedrooms, you change the bedspreads, you washed windows, woodwork. It was
Yes.
like shifting the energy
Yes.
one time of the year, one season to a new season. And in doing so, some conscious and some not so conscious of the fact that within our spirits, we're shifting as well. As you said, it's a time to go within. And I remember all of those times when it was time to shift. And for me, I come from a big family as well. You would go and sometimes help out at somebody else's house. Well, when are you doing yours? I'll come over and help. Or somebody would come over. So it made it fun and easy, and you'd have food and
Yes.
whatever. And it took place over several, days,
Yes.
little. But then there was like a day when you just moved all the furniture and cleaned everything and whatever. And so it reminds me of as I got older and come into different understandings or expanded understandings of a time to go within yourself and do some housekeeping, reflect on how the past season went for you and things that you learned about yourself and what you wanted to change. And even in terms of doing a detox or a fast of your
Yes.
physical body as well.
Yes.
For me, my Reiki plays a major part
Mhm.
when I'm preparing to do that, which is one of the things I'm doing at this time is looking at, okay, what kind of fast am I going to do this year? What are the elements that I want to use and planning that and just feeling even in my spirit more quiet
Yes.
and being
Yes.
myself available to listen to
Yeah.
intuition and guidance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
And
thank
with using Reiki with that, what it looks like for me is making sure that I am setting intentions for what it is that I want.
Mhm.
So, because one of the things that we learn about setting intentions is it gives you a focus, because if you don't have an intention of what it is you're doing and looking for what outcome you want from something, you don't know whether you accomplished it or not, or whether you don't know what signs to look for in the universe, those
Yes.
synchronicities, you don't, just stuff is just happening. But you say,
Yeah.
oh, wow, that's a sign that's going to help me. Okay, maybe I should consider that based on what I set as my intention or my goal for this time. Yeah.
Well, I love that you brought up intention because, one of my favorite things to my students and others is that intention trumps everything because intention has energy to me that is a movement is a it it it, it it's a bridge that from what I'm doing now or saying now to where I want to go and what I want. So just as and I use an example when we attune folks, and sometimes in the beginning when we're just learning or just becoming a Reiki teacher, we might forget a step, we might forget a symbol, we might forget to do something in the process of attuning, and we always know that I had the intention to attune this person. I don't have to go back and correct. The intention is carrying this attunement, so this person will become attuned because I intended it so. So it was so beautiful what you said about at this time is a perfect time, a beautiful time to set intention for
Yeah, I love
what
the way you
yeah,
explain that intention setting with the bridge, and by intending it is so. And I believe that because I also believe that we are constantly co-creating with source energy. And so
yes,
with that intention out there coming from your heart,
yes,
that's where the magic happens.
yes,
Where that, like you said, you don't have to go back and correct anything.
yes,
And also I love well, let me rephrase. I'm not a person who does New Year's resolutions.
yeah, yeah, I
Those
don't
don't work for me,
know.
and even though in some ways that people explain it, it's the same thing as an intention, to me, it doesn't mean the same thing.
No,
And so an intention mean is this is what I intend to do.
to do.
And
Yes,
so I set that energy, and as we know, when you set an energy in motion, if the that frequency is gonna meet you from source
yeah,
energy, and
yes,
that's when the 2 come together and you have, the opportunity to tap into that to make it so, you know?
yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so with setting my intention on what it is and then doing the work, there's the
Mhm.
important thing, doing the work to support that intention. You can't just say it and okay, it's not gonna just happen. You have to put the things in place for it to manifest,
Yes,
and those things will come to you. You'll see or meet somebody and they'll say a word, or they strike up a conversation. I was just thinking about that. Or, oh, wow, that's a perfect thing. Thank you. I didn't know about that.
yes,
It just starts falling in place. And that's just how the universe works for us. When we set an intention, the universe is
yes,
going to say, here, my darling, here,
yes.
you know?
Here are the people and the circumstances and the material that you need to fulfill that intention. It's
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and I want to kind of move into the space around intention, of as we're talking about transitions and preparing for transitions and being in a transition and how do we prepare. So it's a perfect time, as said before, to be in touch with what is my true intention about X, Y, and Z. What is it that I want to have? But we have to be still. Actually, we have to be still to receive the message or to feel or hear or whatever it is our strength in the way we know to even to me. I'm saying, to even know what my intention is.
Yeah.
Uh, because we have desires, we have wishes, we have wants,
Yeah.
and we can sit and we can ponder those or we can feel those, but there's a different energy with between wishes and intention. So
I totally understand and connect with that, yeah.
yes, and so the power of listening for and feeling for my intention as I move forward, it's powerful. And for me, it is an invitation to be still, to have quiet time, to rest, to let this intention really become clear so that I know where I'm going.
Yes.
And yes, yeah,
Yeah, I feel that, and I totally understand it, and the being still part is sometimes the challenge for a lot of us,
yes,
and when we are still, that's when we can connect,
yes,
with our intuition and how we can connect with the energy that is right there at our fingertips saying,
mhm,
"I got you." You know,
yes,
I'm here.
yes,
And we don't
yeah,
have to be confused or worried about how am I gonna do this, that kind of thing. We just have to be open and
yes,
get quiet. So whether the quietness is doing meditation or journaling or prayer, or maybe you're one of those people you get into a zone when you're doing certain activities, because we know that there are a lot of moving meditation things that happen with people as well. But the point is quieting that mind, you know, and quieting everything. And one of the things that I do and I always share with my students is that, if you're a person who is always listening to music or even podcasts or
yes,
stories or whatever, when do you have the quiet so that you
yes,
can really hear? Yes, sometimes I get messages when I'm listening to a meditation music and I do that, but there's sometimes when you just need to be silent. You don't need any input from coming electronically, or sometimes when I'm talking to people, I will say to them, go for a walk in nature. But here's the thing,
yes,
don't take your earbuds.
right,
Uh,
yeah,
don't talk on the phone.
yes,
Don't take your kids or, your friend. Go by yourself and
yes,
connect, because those things are just added distractions from hearing your own voice and
yes,
hearing the voice of your spirit,
yes,
um,
yes,
through that. I think that is something that in today's busy world, we tend to lose sometimes or
mm,
forget. One of the things that's come to mind is that I grew up in a household full of boys. I was the only girl in the family. So I always had my own room. So I had my own space.
yes,
You know. But my mother was the kind of person, if you ask, oh, can I go to so and so's house or can I go where? She would say, no, go sit somewhere and learn to be with yourself. And I was like,
oh,
it's me, I'm here. You want me to have any friends? And she was like, we had
yeah,
my brothers, I would complain, you know, but when I left home, after I graduated high school and I left home to go away, I learned
mm,
the value of what that gift was that my mother
yes,
gave us
yes.
because I met people who cannot be alone.
Right. Oh, yes.
They can't go anywhere and do anything
The thing with
you
yes.
know? And
And
I
then
can go in I can travel, I can go to movies, I can go to dinner,
yes.
you know? In fact, sometimes I have to tell myself, "When was the last time
You
to connect with somebody," you know?
yes.
If you live alone, especially that time, can be, but she taught us how to enjoy our own company and how to spend time in quiet because back then you didn't have a TV in your room, you didn't have computers and all this kind of stuff. So go to your room and or sit in the living room or sit outside, but learn how to spend some time with yourself.
Yes.
And that to me has been one of the greatest gifts that my mother
Yes.
gave.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I didn't learn that. I didn't learn that from my family or my parents, and but it really I tended as a child to withdraw myself anyhow. I was overstimulated easily by a lot of whatever was going on in my family. We had quite a few of us living in one home, and just by the way that I am made up, that I that I could there was a lot of stimulation for me. So I would have a book or I'd go lay down. I used to lay down and nap a lot because I just needed to go away
Go within,
from
yeah.
all of the stimulation. I'm the oldest of four, and my siblings were very rambunctious growing up, and I tended to be more quiet. And so, anyhow, I did take myself away. Now that you're saying that, I kind of had to do that for myself, and those who know me know that I go to bed early, and I always have. And now that we're having this conversation, I think that a part of that pattern started for me so that I could go somewhere and be quiet. So I would go, even in high school and college, I was known, folks teased me a lot because I was in the bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And when everybody else was staying up I wrote my papers during the day. I did my homework during the day.
Yeah.
But I needed that time away and quiet and by myself. And and I still do in a more intentional way, of course. To come to hear, to receive guidance, to know. And another way that I want to bring forward now is when we learn to listen to our bodies, when we learn to notice what is my body feeling, you know, yes, that's another way of listening, of hearing, of getting a message that something needs to shift.
Absolutely, and I'm smiling because we are so similar because I was always someone that at the clock, 8:30 at the latest,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm out,
really? Yeah.
and when I got old enough to start going out with friends and that, I would have to take a nap
Yes, me too.
before going out, and if we went to someone's house to pick up somebody and we went in and, did some activity, if we didn't go wherever we were going, mm,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
they would find me sleep and they used to tease me. I could go
Yes.
anywhere. It's just
Me too.
my body just shuts down.
Yes, me
And
too.
in fact, even today, I'll have a family member call and say, "Am I too late? Are you already?" You know? But one of the things that did for me is similar to you. It took me out of all the stimulation, but
Yes.
also I would wake up early in the morning
Yes.
while the
Yes.
house is quiet, while the world
Yes.
is quiet, and that was my
Yes.
favorite time of day. Even in
Yes.
college, living in the dorm, I
Yes.
would go to bed early, and then I would wake up, and that's when I did my best study.
Me
Was
too.
everybody sleep,
Yes.
up, and I do my thing. So, it was like this rhythm of my body was teaching me,
Mhm.
even though I didn't know that that's what it was back then, teaching me, "This is your rhythm. This
Yes.
is your rhythm, and you can override it if you want to, but it's not gonna be a regular thing." You know?
Exactly.
It's not that's the rhythm that you have, and I think that part of listening to your body and
Mhm.
listening is also listening to your spirit and
Yes.
paying attention and know that the wisdom that comes from that is sometimes the very thing that we're seeking, but we don't know how to recognize it.
Yes, exactly.
We don't know how to
Absolutely.
recognize
So,
it.
yes. And
Because
these
the
are
norm is it's not the norm. So,
no.
and we have to realize we're each unique individuals. So it's not about doing what everybody else is doing. What is your body telling you? What is your spirit dictating, that you do? Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I think I'm grateful for those early starts in life because it has made it easier for me, at least at this time in my life, and as an adult, to quiet myself and to meditate or to walk in nature, whatever quiet. And I love solitude, and you know I love being with loved ones, but I just have to have solitude. I crave it, and it's my
Tells
nature.
you who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be a hermit easily.
Yes.
I also love being with people, but I have to
Yes.
have a balance of that me time and
Yes.
social time. I
Yeah, me
really
too.
do. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing when you recognize those things about yourself.
Yes.
And that's what this whole thing about, transitions, what is your spirit, your body telling you as far as what you need right now? That's as much a part of living the best life and being authentic as anything else that we can think of. And I actually call it, we have our DNA,
Mhm.
and we have our biological immunity, and we have our spiritual immunity.
Mhm.
Talk about a lot in my classes. What is that for you?
Mm.
What is that? How do you maintain where you're not irritable or angry or depressed and all that? What is it that you
Mhm.
need to do for yourself as your spiritual immune system strengthening so that you know who you are and what
Yes.
you need when it's time to get up and leave somewhere or say, no, I can't do that at this time, or I'm choosing not to do that, and knowing when you need that time alone. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes you know how things will call to you.
Yes.
I I grew up spending a lot of time in nature, um, because my family, we did a lot of camping and all that kind of stuff, connecting to nature stuff. And so I don't do that as much anymore. And sometimes my spirit is calling me to do that. And even though I may not go off camping, I know, okay, tomorrow you are going to the park,
Mhm.
tomorrow you're
Yes.
going to the beach or whatever.
Yes.
It
Yes.
just calls you because my spirit is saying, we haven't done that. We need to get
Yes.
to that. And it's important to listen to those things because we're a part of such a magnificent universe, and
Mhm.
everything that's in us is the universe. And
Mhm.
sometimes we need a little extra of this. It's like the whole thing where everybody talks about grounding,
Mm.
where we have to understand what that is so that we know when it's time to access it in different ways
Yes.
to make those transitions that we need to make from one state of being to another even more easy, but
Yes.
also more recognizable. Oh, you know what? I need to do this, that, or the other for myself.
Yes. Well, and as we come to a close in this discussion, just for us to bring the conversation around to, we have just a few days left really in this month of and the last month and the last days of 2025, and the the beauty of spending that time in reflection and quiet and reflecting on how was this year for me? What is it that I want to bring forward in the next year, and what don't I? What do I want to create that's new? What's my intention for myself, for my health, for my life, for my relationships? So this is a beautiful time. And
It is.
if you haven't already begun the process of transitioning, then this is as we move into the winter solstice, especially with so much support from the universe, in creating the new life.
Perfect. A perfect ending, Ia. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
So
you.
if any of you don't know how to make those transitions,
Mhm.
just go into meditation and ask your spirit with the intention of understanding that for yourself to do
Yes.
that and to bring you maybe a comrade or a teacher, mentor to help you understand,
Yes.
make your transitions.
Yay.
This is
Beautiful.
great. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Leah, for
much.
joining in today. We always have a wonderful time. I always learn so much for you, and
And
we transition for you into the new opportunity we have in a number 1 year.
yes. And blessings to you, Ia, and to everyone who has been joining us in 2025. And we bless you as you transition to whatever's new for you in that new number 1 year, numerologically.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.